Get up, Jack. I remember the voice of my coach yelling at me to get back to my feet after a brutal combination of punches sent me crashing to the canvas. I was in the fourth round of a boxing match and I was losing on points. I stumbled back to my corner, my eyes scanning the crowd as I tried to catch my breath. My coach, a grizzled old-school boxer himself, looked at me with a mixture of frustration and concern. "What's going on, kid? You're getting outboxed," he said, wiping the sweat from my face with a towel. I charged out of my corner at the start of the next round, determined to overpower my opponent with aggressive punches. I threw a flurry of hooks and uppercuts, but my opponent was ready for me, and he countered with a series of sharp jabs that left me reeling. I stumbled back, my eyes blurring from the punches, and my opponent sensed his chance, pouring on the pressure. I tried to keep up, but I was exhausted, and my opponent's defense was too strong. I took a nasty cut above my left eyebrow, and my coach yelled at me to stop taking so many risks. But I didn't listen, and I kept trying to blast my way to victory. As I sat in my corner at the end of the round, my coach looked at me with a mixture of disappointment and frustration. "You're not even listening to me, Jack," he said, shaking his head. "You're getting killed out there." But then something changed. I took a moment to collect myself, and I started to focus on my own rhythm and technique. I began to use my opponent's movements to guide my own, rather than trying to overpower him. It wasn't easy, and I still took some hard shots, but I started to feel more in control. I lost the fourth round on points, and my opponent was well ahead on the scorecard. But I didn't give up. I kept focusing on my technique, and I started to find my range. In the fifth round, I started to land some good shots, and my opponent began to tire. My coach noticed the change in me, and he started to urge me on. "That's it, Jack. You're finding your rhythm now," he said, his voice filled with excitement. "Keep going, kid. You're getting to him." I won the fifth round narrowly, and I could see the doubt in my opponent's eyes. As I walked back to my corner, exhausted but proud of myself, I felt a sense of calm wash over me. I looked down at my hands, wrapped tightly in gauze and tape, one holding a towel, the other gently touching the cut above my left eyebrow. It was a small moment of pride, but it was enough to carry me through the pain and the exhaustion. When you're struggling to get through a hard week, you're probably trying to force your way through, just like I did. But that approach usually leaves you exhausted and frustrated. Instead, try focusing on your own rhythm and finding a way to work with the challenges you're facing, rather than fighting against them. You might be surprised at how much easier things become when you stop trying to control everything and just focus on your own technique.